Good evening, everyone. I see a couple of you have joined. Just waiting for one more person to present on the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. But if you have any questions or want to chat about anything, feel free to raise your hand while we wait. All right, I see the person I'm expecting, so we can go ahead and get started. I now call the ANC 1E Transportation and Public Spaces Committee meeting to order. We'll have a pretty light agenda tonight. Just a few administrative notes. This meeting was noticed to the community via listserv, social media, our website, and our e-calendar on the ANC 1E website. And I will go ahead and share the agenda very quick. All right. For anyone that might have questions throughout the meeting, you can feel free to raise your hand. And if you're calling in, I believe it's *67 that allows you to raise your hand, but I don't see anyone that's called in, so that shouldn't be relevant here. It looks like I'm the only person from the committee that was able to make it tonight, but that's okay. We'll be recapping this at the broader ANC meeting as well, so folks will be able to hear some of that there. Beyond that, we don't have a quorum tonight, so we don't really need to make motions, but we'll go ahead and take any sort of community announcements or questions, and those folks will have 3 minutes, and then we'll jump into the Rock and Roll Half Marathon discussion. So is there anyone from the community that wants to speak on anything? All right, we'll jump right into the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. And I'm going to make you a panelist. So you should be seeing that in just a second. Diane. And I think it worked. But if you're speaking, you're on mute.
There you go. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, good. Do you want me to go dive right in?
Yeah, you can dive right in.
Awesome.
I mean, this is the third time I've seen this presentation. So.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Which is a good thing. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
So Rock and Roll, St. Jude's Rock and Roll Half Marathon and 5K is running its 17th year in Washington, D.C. It's running on Saturday, March 15th, 2025. The start line is down at 14th and Constitution. There's a half marathon with about 16,000 runners. There's a 5K that you won't see in your ANC, but there are about 3,000 runners in the 5K. That's at 4th and Pennsylvania, kind of stays downtown. Total event time is 7 a.m. to wraps up about 1 p.m. downtown, specific for this ANC. Once again, we're on Harvard Street. Runners are eastbound on Harvard to 5th, and they run down 5th till it turns into 4th, and then they're going to make a left onto Bryant, and then they're all the way on Bryant eastbound till they pop out on North Capitol Street. Nice thing about this ANC, there's only one band stage. I know sound is, always issue in the neighborhood, especially in the morning. That is going to once again be at Harvard and 5th when they make that turn around Drew Hall there. It'll face toward the reservoir. So I don't think we've gotten too many complaints about that music. It starts when the first runner comes through, which is about 8:30. That first runner will come through there, and we're usually out of there before noon. We clear the whole Howard community there, and then off to Bryant. There's no parking, of course, along Harvard. That strip of Harvard that's in your ANC. Typically, you can't really park along 5th. The university is notified about the students along 4th, and then, of course, they're left on Bryant. The course signs will go up again this year. We put those up to remind people it's coming next week. Ways, if you use directional ways, all the street closures are on ways if you have to get around that morning. And hopefully that will help people make it least impactful for you as you're trying to move around the city on that Saturday morning. And that's a nutshell. That was pretty quick.
Awesome. And I assume that portion of Georgia will also be closed where Harvard crosses it?
Correct.
Okay.
And MPD control all the street crossings. So it's really up to their discretion whether there's enough of a lag in the event that they can let people cross. North Capitol northbound is open. Rhode Island Avenue is open. And York Avenue is open so people can kind of move east-west across the city.
Got it. Okay. And I think there were, I don't remember what the signs are called, but bigger signs that were posted further up on Georgia Avenue just warning people in
Right.
previous years. Is that still the plan?
Right. The virtual messaging, the VMS signs,
Yes,
they'll
the
be
VMS.
placed along Georgia to warn people of the closure. They'll be on the major, like Connecticut Avenue has it because we cross Connecticut. North Capitol will have it. Georgia will have it. And we also have it coming in 395. I mean, it's even far out as, the major routes into the city, just warn people there's a special event. So that will be programmed for that morning.
Okay. Cool. I'm just trying to think through any other questions that we've had in years past, but I think that was mostly it. Anything else that you think we should know?
That's the most important thing of the parking, but though there will be no parking signs go up Wednesday the 13th, starting at it'll be starting at midnight on that Saturday morning, the 15th.
Yep.
They've been pretty good about the relocation. Some cars they've let stay on the route. That's all up to MPD. Some cars, if they're like blocking the route, they'll move them. But for the most part, they ask for no cars along the route. But I have historically seen where cars have not been touched, as long as they're not blocking the runners. So, no, I think that's about it.
I think there was a phone number on the website in years past for, okay,
yes,
cool.
Yes, and then I think my phone number is on the no parking signs, our community line, I should say, which comes to me. And then the race morning, I'm always in the command with MPD, DPW, medical for any concerns along the course. If ANC see anything, if the community sees it, if the music's too loud, anybody can call me and say, hey, the music up, here, it's too loud. Can you get them to turn it down? We can do that because we have all the control right there where we can contact the different stages, which if that one on Harvard and Fifth is a little too loud for neighbors there, we can make an adjustment.
Yeah, and I don't remember any complaints about that in years past.
It's pretty good. They face it away so he doesn't hit those folks on Gresham or, behind Harvard.
Cool. I don't have any other questions. Do any community members have questions? I know there are a couple of folks on the line. If you do, feel free to raise your hand. I'm giving it the usual 8 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And you said Saturday, March 15th, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure because I have the letter for the whole body that we can consider.
And like I said, historically, we've been out of there. We say 12:30 just to be on the safe side because MPD is the one that actually opens the streets back up. But my notes from last year, we have cleared there before noon. So they're pretty quick to get them out of there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I didn't have any other questions. I appreciate your partnership as always, and we'll take the letter to the full ANC. And you don't need to present there. You're welcome to just listen in on the meeting. It might be a little bit longer than usual since it's new term and
yeah. I'm happy to log
in
just in case if you have any new commissioners, they have any questions. I'll kind of listen in to make sure. This is actually my work ANC, so I work at Howard, so this is my work ANC. I always like coming here. See what you got going on.
Cool.
Right.
Well, that's it. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and thanks again for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate it. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye. All right, that wraps up the agenda that we had for the evening. Any other questions or comments from the community before we wrap up? Or any announcements that you want to make? All right. Well, thanks everyone for your time. Appreciate it and have a happy new year, and hopefully we'll see you all at the ANC general body meeting in a couple of weeks.